Warm welcome to all the viewers who have joined. Hi, Dave. Abhi, hi, dear. Million Zanabe, hi. Thank you for joining, all of you. From Somalia, welcome, welcome, brother. Sarah Salomon, you did great job. Thank you. GGJHKKIM, how are you doing? I'm fine. Avi Ahmed, what's up, my dude? What's up, my dude? I'm fine, brother. Thank you. How are you? Hello. Hello. Tag. Hello, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? Boro, just want to let you know that your stream comes and it stops. Yes, some technical problems. I'm trying to sort them out. Million Zenebe, I'm ready to grill you. I'm ready too, brother. I'm ready too. Abe, tell us about Sudanese army. Yes, I'll talk about that. The Nate gang with the UZOD. Mano Rashid, are you from India? No, I am not from India. Uzil, hi, brother. Dave, block people who insult. I don't block anyone. It's my policy that I don't block anyone. Usman, Dabilia, any news about Turkey, Istanbul, university protests? Johnny Man, do you think TPLF could win this war? Noor Ahmed Ali, hi brother, hi. Noor Ahmed, one of my regular viewers. Tag, is the war in Tigray over? It's far from over, tag. It's far from over. Even UN 2 days ago said that only 60 to 80% of Tigray area was under the control of Abiy Ahmed government, and that Amhara regional forces and Eritrean troops fighting in Tigray were not being effectively controlled by Ethiopian government. These are the words said by the UN aid work chief viewers. So war is far from over. Hanicole, do you think Eritrean troops withdraws from Tigray? $1 million question. Will Eritrea pull back its forces from Tigray or not? Because international pressure is mounting upon Eritrea, and US has now directly communicated to Eritrea that Eritrea must withdraw its troops from Tigray. But the problem, viewers, is that Ethiopia cannot afford the withdrawal of Eritrean troops from Tigray, viewers. The day Eritrean troops leave Tigray, ENDF will start falling apart. That is why I think Eritrean troops will not leave Tigray immediately. Ethiopian and Eritrean governments will try to find some sort of a way of keeping Eritrean troops in Tigray. How will they do it? That remains to be seen. But I don't see immediate withdrawal of Eritrean troops from Tigray, because if it happens, suddenly you will see that Tigray fighters will start gaining new territories and ENDF will start losing ground. That is why I think that immediate withdrawal of Eritrean troops from Tigray is not possible. Ethiopian government will never go for it. Tazabi, do you think war crimes have been committed in Tigray? Well, Tazabi, everyone is talking about that. I have quoted so many sources, Voice of America, Washington Post, New York Times, AFP. Several sources have confirmed that people have been killed, civilians have been killed, and if civilians are killed, which crime can be more serious than that? Hey, hello, Izana. Khadar Abdi, any news about Kenya Somalia conflict? Dave, who is to blame for this conflict? I think we have discussed this question several times in the past, that war is basically political. Abiy Ahmed government wanted to push aside a TPLF. But unfortunately, political battle has turned into armed conflict. Both the parties are responsible, but since Abiy Ahmed is in power, he is responsible to a larger extent than TPLF and Tigray government viewers. David Alexander, welcome, brother. GH says, stop blackmailing Ethiopia. Who is doing that? Well, I'm trying to take as many questions from you as I can. The purpose of this live chat session is interaction. I want to take your questions. I do not want to just speak. I want to take your questions and respond to them. Yasin Usman. Welcome, Yasin Usman. I have lost the steam. God is good. Thank you so much. Heptom. TPLF is dead. Egypt will soon follow. A says, no, TPLF is not dead. TPLF is gaining power. Abiy Ahmed has provided renewed vigor to TPLF, I think. Be Nice says, keep up the good work. Thank you, brother. Well, someone is saying no audio. Can you people listen to me? Can you hear me? Yes, viewers can hear me. I think some problem on your side. EthioTube, what is Beatles? Thank you for joining, Beatles, one of my regular viewers. Be confident, welcome. Daniel, we really appreciate your unbiased analysis. Thank you, Daniel. Hadish Doge say yes. What will be the compensation for losses of life, says Sub-Sahara Post. Welcome. EthioTube, are you TPLF supporter? Well, I support truth. I speak truth. And you see, you must have seen in several videos that wherever TPLF is wrong, I pinpoint their wrongdoings. I do not believe in backing someone blindly, backing a party blindly. I have no interest in backing TPLF or in opposing Ethiopian government. I just report what I see as truth. Yasin Usman, I am Oromo, not Ethiopian. Jawar Muhammad said that he is first Oromo and then Ethiopian, and the guy here is saying that he is Oromo, not Ethiopian. Now, the words of this viewer that he is Oromo, not Ethiopian, these words indicate how deep ethnic divisions are becoming in Ethiopia. You need a leader who has a vision to lead this nation. Otherwise, ethnic divide is further deepening. Ashinfasi Abdurrahman, how do you manage to translate Tigrana? I do it somehow. I do it somehow. EthioTube, where coming your information? I think he wants to ask, where do I get my information from? From several sources. I talked about that in previous chat session. Daniel asks, will TPLF get help from Sudan and Egypt? Well, Daniel, so far TPLF is not getting support from either Sudan or Egypt. Sudan is right now interested in securing its control over border areas, Sudan, Ethiopia border areas. If Ethiopia decided to launch full-scale war on Sudan, Sudan might think of supporting Tigray fighters, Tigray forces, but so far Sudan is not providing any help to TPLF. Same is the case with Egypt. I don't think that Egypt is proactively backing TPLF. Salam, what about Kenya and Ethiopia? How is TPLF gaining power while they are on a retreat? Abdi Aziz asks. Yes, they are on the retreat, but viewers, imagine, imagine the numbers. TPLF is fighting on so many fronts. They are fighting ENDF, Eritrean troops, forces from regions. So it's not easy to even survive in such circumstances. And still they are in control of 30-40% of area. They are carrying out ambush on ENDF troops. So, yes, they are on the retreat, but we cannot say that they have been totally defeated. Sorave Phillips, Sorafel Phillips, my one of my regular viewers, welcome. Why are you interested in Ethiopian politics? Someone asks. Well, if you look at the playlists on my channel, I think I have covered more than 20 countries so far. There are more than 1000 videos on my channel, and I like to cover active conflicts where information is available, where people respond, where you can interact with people. So it's not just Ethiopia I'm interested in. I'm covering Somalia as well, Somalia Kenya tensions, Sudan Ethiopia tensions. Then I have covered Turkey a lot. So many countries have been covered by me. Habtom Bata, do you think Eritrean soldiers out from Tigray? I answered just a few minutes ago that Eritrean troops won't withdraw from Tigray immediately. Anomin, welcome. Will Sudan be able to hold on to their gains on the border? Very important question. Well, in present circumstances, Ethiopia cannot wage large-scale war against Sudan. In the meantime, Sudan is trying to consolidate its positions on Sudan-Ethiopia border. Roads are being built, bridges are being made. Sudan is linking Fashaga to its mainland areas of Al-Ghadari state. So before the conclusion of Tigray war, Sudan wants to strengthen its positions on border areas, Sudan-Ethiopia border areas. And so far, viewers, Sudan seems to be successful in keeping control of these areas. TESFA, stop your propaganda. Daniel G, why the world leaders are not talking about Tigray? Well, the world is talking about Tigray now. I think international atmosphere has changed. Why Ethiopian government betrayed the people of Tigray? Surafil Phillips asks. As I responded earlier, battle is political. It's battle for power between TPLF and Abiy Ahmed party. So when you're fighting for power, masses take secondary importance, unfortunately. Your people go on the back burner. What matters is how much power you have. GH, Ethiopia, will all of these weeds come over? I cannot understand your question. No copyright. How many Ethiopian army has been killed during Tigray operations? Well, casualties have been huge. Number of casualties on both sides have been huge. We have seen intense fighting since the start of this war. But after ENDF launched second offensive last week, now some intense battles are taking place. In central Tigray, now intense battles are taking place. Casualties are huge on both sides. Tayyib Sharif, what do you think? Who do you think has started the Tigray war? Well, we have discussed that in several previous videos. Salvatore, Welcome Shiva Tube, who is the mastermind in the Horn of Africa. I think you're pointing towards Eritrea, perhaps, but we cannot blame Eritrea for the mess in Tigray. I mean, Ethiopian people elected Abiy Ahmed. Ethiopian people can blame Abiy Ahmed, not Isaias. If something has been done against Tigray people, if Tigray people believe that they have been wronged, they cannot blame Isaias. They can only blame Abiy Ahmed. It is Abiy Ahmed, the elected leader of Ethiopia, who decided to wage war against Tigray government. Whether he was supported by Eritrea or not, it does not matter. For me, what matters is that the decision in the end lies with, and the responsibility lies with Ethiopian Prime Minister. What Eritrea is doing, it cannot be neglected as well. Yes, Eritrea does not have any right to intervene in Tigray. Eritrea must be condemned, and the people behind atrocities in Tigray must be brought to justice. Beauty Archives, one of my regular viewers, thank you for joining. Halish G, my question was, why isn't the world talking about UAE's involvement in this war? Well, Tigray leaders have talked about it, and UAE's involvement in this war was limited. I mean, if they supported Ethiopian government, they provided drones. Drones carried out some airstrikes, but we haven't seen continuous support given by UAE. UAE's support wasn't very extensive. Eritrea is continuously backing Ethiopian forces. That is why world is speaking about Eritrean involvement in Tigray. World is not talking about UAE's backing of Ethiopian government because UAE's backing was not very prominent and significant. Tizabi, Surafil, Phillips, you're asking so many questions. I have responded to at least one question from each of you. And Yasin Usman as well. Lorenzo, welcome Lorenzo, one of my regular viewers. Abi, do you think Ethiopia will become Yugoslavia? I don't think so. In short term, it won't happen, but it might happen in future. Tesfa Dabo, welcome. Tamerlane Gafarov, Johnny, Tizabi, I have responded to two of your questions, I think. Tesfa 90%. Salvatore. Abraham Siam, how are you? I am fine, Abraham. How are you? Nitin Very. I'm trying to pronounce these names as correctly as possible because viewership is from all over the world. The viewers of this channel are from every corner of the world, from America, Europe, Asia, Horn of Africa. Traffic comes from all over the world. Sarah Gare, thank you for joining. Rafael Michael, thank you for joining. Amber Takla, thanks for your service, brother. Thank you. Yasin Usman, I have responded to two of your questions, I think. Haptom Bata, Isaias is mastermind of this war. Ethiopians did not vote for Isaias. They voted for Abiy Ahmed. Bola Mohabi, Birkot, thank you for joining. Musi Gabriel Zaber, hey voice of voiceless. Well, I just do my job. People say that I am the voice of Tigray, I am the voice of Tplf. I am not anyone's voice. I just believe in speaking the truth. If TPLF start committing atrocities, you will see me making videos about that as well. Rick Beatles, he wasn't elected. Hailish, why is Abiy Ahmed lying on Twitter? Well, I did a video today about Twitter. Twitter is being used by both the parties. Both the parties are using Twitter to launch activism campaigns to further their narratives. So we cannot rely on Twitter if we want to get to the truth about Tigray conflict. Johnny, welcome Johnny. Sami Umar, why is Somalis there? Why Somalis there? Somalis can only be there if there is some sort of coordination between Abiy Ahmed, Farmajo, and Isaias. And some analysts believe that these three leaders they have a consensus about certain issues. Gabriel, AX Gabriel, humanitarian access is needed in Tigray. Yes, no doubt about that. But it's not possible when fighting is going on. How can you ensure provision of aid to everyone in Tigray? It's not possible. We love your voice, Midhani Fashe. Thank you. Daniel, those three leaders are toxic for region. He's talking about, I think, Asayas, Framajo, and Abiy Ahmed. Salvatore, he says, my question is, they talk about Tigray, but they're not serious about Tigray. Well, the world has its limitations. We saw in Myanmar that military has taken control of the government. Aung San Suu Kyi has been arrested. What can the world do about that? Nothing, I think. The world is just issuing statements, and the military has taken power. Internet cut off. People are not able and allowed to protest. So military is there. World powers have their limitations. America cannot solve problems of entire world. It's the people of the countries who can solve problems, not outsiders. They can put pressure, but to a certain extent. In the end, the change comes from within, not from outside. Brittany Maya, what's your point of view? Tigray will be a country. Britannia Maya. People are talking about Tigray's independence because people are angry. Civilian casualties are definitely being reported in Tigray. People are not happy, but we can talk about secession only after Tigray leaders start speaking about it. If they do not want to secede from Ethiopia, I think the topic should not be discussed. The elected leaders of Tigray have this right to talk about or to decide independence from Ethiopia. So far, they are not talking about it because if they start talking about independence, international community will be against them. They won't have Tom Beta. US, what is next destination to Eritrea? Sarah Sulman, what is the result of this war, do you think? This war will go on, Sarah. This war will go on. Don't expect to find any result in the next few days or few weeks. It's a long war, I think, if it keeps on going in this way. Raya, Ethiopia, how we know you're paid to create chaos in Ethiopia. Raya, Ethiopia says, I do not want to create chaos in Ethiopia or anywhere in the world. I just want to point out what's happening in Ethiopia, in Tigray, with neutrality. That's what my job is. Can you update us about war between Sudan and Ethiopia? Yes, I think I did that in yesterday's video. Sudan has taken control of another locality, and now just 5 settlements are being controlled by Ethiopian forces. And Sudan is demanding withdrawal of Sudanese forces from these 5 settlements as well. Tensions are running high. But viewers, Sudan does not want to retreat from newly captured areas, and Sudan wants to talk to Ethiopia. On the other hand, Ethiopia does not want any talks until Sudan withdraws from captured areas, and Ethiopia does not want to start full scale war as well. That is why stalemate is there, tensions are there. Either Ethiopia will have to resume talks with Sudan, or Ethiopia will have to go for negotiations, or it will have to wage full scale war. Just 3 options for Ethiopia, viewers: full scale war, some sort of mediation, or direct talks to Sudan. Let's see which option Ethiopia takes. Beauty archives, they were terrible, they created divisions. He is talking about, I think, Tplf. Salam Ari, thank you for joining, one of my regular viewers. Interesting question. Which pressure can be realistically applied on Eritrea by the US? Very important question. Again, the world has its limitations, especially regarding countries like Eritrea, which are seen as repressive states and where the world do not have much say. Beauty archives, have you heard of the news of mass recruitment of Amharas in ENDF and Amhara? I could not confirm this news. Ismail, you are a digital junta. You are at liberty to call me whatever you can, whatever you want to. I do not block any viewers. I do not delete your comments. So whatever you want to say, speak. Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, Alim says responsible for several attacks. Yes. What is your email address, Mr. Sajid Abdi Aziz the Great? Well, I write my email address in description section of my videos, my views on news78@gmail.com. Riaz, thank you Riaz for joining. Dirar Elk. There are some errors of pictures in your news, you are aware. Yes, there might be some errors, you're right, because it's not easy to find royalty-free pictures and videos. Sometimes I make mistakes choosing pictures as thumbnails. Tayyib Sharif, thank you for joining, Tayyib. I'm trying my best to reply to all your questions. Hago, how many troops do you think participated in the war on Tigray? Well, whatever the number is, but Tigray fighters are heavily outnumbered by their rivals. Salam, I like how you take the haters. Thank you, Salam. Beauty archives, again speaking about his anger against Tplf. Kahasi, impartial and fair analysis. Thank you, Kahashi. Sami Umar, you're a very patient person. Thank you. Lorenzo, Tplf are finished. Lorenzo has said that several times. I do not agree. Tplf has been rejuvenated by Abiy Ahmed. Brock Nirayo, ignore your critics, my brother. Thank you. T. Michael, Ethiopia is filling the dam. What do you think the response from Egypt? Very important question. Today I informed you about the current position of dam construction. 78.3% of GERD has been completed by Manelik. Congrats about 20k. Thank you, Manelik. 78.3% of GERD has been completed by Ethiopia. Ethiopia is very close to starting a second filling of GERD, viewers. What will be the response of Sudan and Egypt? Well, Sudan has clearly said that it won't accept second filling of GERD. Egypt has said the same, viewers. It's going to be a key decision for Ethiopia, either to go for the second filling of GERD or not. It can lead to some serious confrontation between Ethiopia and Sudan, and Ethiopia and Egypt as well. What will be the shape of this confrontation? I'm not clear, but I think Sudan and Egypt will try their best to prevent Ethiopia from starting second filling of GERD. One viewer from Bangladesh asked a question about Myanmar. I think I covered that in previous answers. Alim, how were they rejuvenated? Well, I think you're asking about TPLF. Well, when TPLF was in power, people blamed them for atrocities, that they were authoritarian in their way of ruling the region. But now they're getting sympathy. Opposition parties are supporting them, and now they are being. Usman Madin, good job, keep it. Thank you. No sympathy for TPLF. Well, their supporters have sympathy for them. They are dying. The leaders are dying. Nathan, welcome, Nathan. Someone is asking about why TPLF did not withdraw from Badame after the court decision by the UN. Yes, they should have withdrawn if there was a decision. They should have appealed the decision. Halis, one of my regular viewers, welcome. Beauty Archives is again speaking against TPLF leaders. So many comments have been sent by Beauty Archives against TPLF. Drake Servansky, what do you think about Amhara supporting Eritrean government? Tizabi, you've asked so many questions. Please let others talk to T. Michael. Do you think the war will end on the battle or through negotiations? This war won't end on battlefield. Very few wars end on battlefields, especially such wars which are internal wars in a country. Such wars continue. So I don't think that the war will end on battlefield. Negotiations will come at some point, you'll see. Abdiaziz the Great, you have asked so many questions. Does ENDF still contribute troops to AMISOM force? I think he was asking about that. Cabriab, Java Guru, for you 20k, congratulations, thank you. Tigray must fight for independence, AA says. Well, the day Tigray leaders announced independence, they will lose international sympathy that they are gaining now. Netsanet Ficado, what is your personal opinion about the cause of Tigray conflict? The race mixer, the ruling was final and binding. If it was, then TPLF should have withdrawn from the areas on border areas. Yasin Usman, Abbas Killer. Yasin, you have sent so many comments and questions. Bangladesh, my life. What's your view on Al Jazeera documentary on all the prime ministers' men? Yes, I watched that documentary about Bangladesh, and their high profile, their key leaders were shown involved in that scandal. Well, evidence was presented by Al Jazeera. Evidence was there in the documentary. Abel Solomon, what is your opinion on deployment of UN force? Oh, I think it's still not possible. It will take some time, I think. Right now, UN is interested in sending humanitarian aid to Tigray. US is putting pressure upon Ethiopia and Eritrea about withdrawal of Eritrean troops. No proposal about deployment of UN peacekeepers in Tigray is under discussion at any forum now. How much time the war will last? Salvatore asks. Salvatore, you asked questions earlier. Yes, this war will last longer than who can imagine, I think. Because now it's going on in the form of guerrilla warfare, and guerrilla warfare sometimes take decades, and they're not finished in days or weeks or months. Gabriel, Chirkos, Abraha, you are commenting, not asking any questions. Mercato, Ethiopia. Did you hear about PP Oromia? Beauty Archive, you have sent so many comments. You have sent so many comments against TPLF. And if you have any question, feel free to ask this question. But comments just disturb other people who want to ask questions. Samare GR, can you please TPLFs are again comments against TPLF. I do not want to read comments against Abiy Ahmed or TPLF. I just want to answer questions here. Hoja Tasama, thank you for joining, Hoja. Andy Mariam, Tess Fagargas, are you working for Tigray people? Well, I said earlier, I am not working for Tigray people. I am not working for the cause of Tigray people, Tigray government. I am just reporting what I am seeing on ground. I have no interest in backing someone. If human rights abuses are taking place in Tigray, I am reporting on that. It does not mean that I have an agenda that I want to be the voice of Tigray people. Isaias, will Abe ever be tried in ICJ? Not in near future, I think. Kidosan, welcome. Zawaisi one, do you know Ethiopia allows for a region to Kidose, who wins the war between ENDF and Eritrean troops plus Somali troops against Tigray? Well, no one is winning this war up till now. We have seen that Tigray fighters are controlling areas, ENDF controlling some areas. War is going on. No one is winning. People are suffering. Netsenat Ficado, what is your opinion about the cause of Tigray conflict? I think we have discussed that on more than one occasions. Cause is political. Fight for power between TPLF and Abiy's party is the main reason behind this war. Bangladesh asks, what's your view on Iran's strike on Pakistan? Yasin Usman, Hoja Tasme. Hoja Tasme, why will TPLF lose international support at this point if they announce independence? Because if they announce independence, they'll be seen as separatists. Now they are saying that they are Ethiopians, and Ethiopian government is fighting against its own people. If they announce independence, they'll be treated as separatists. How worse is humanitarian crisis in Tigray, Dirar, Elk? Yes, situation is very alarming. Relief organizations cannot deliver aid to everyone in Tigray. And even before the start of this war, people were dependent upon outside aid. Now war is going on. Blockade is there as well. Several areas are inaccessible. So you can imagine that humanitarian disaster is definitely unfolding in Tigray. Solomon, hello brother, how do you think Ethiopia can solve all the problems? Definitely through democratic reforms, through involving all the regions, and through devising a mechanism of sharing power, through avoiding authoritarian style of ruling Ethiopia. I think we should wrap up this chat session. It was wonderful talking to you. I tried my best to respond to all of your questions. Thank you for joining. Thank you for asking these questions. At the end, just let me conclude by giving you a sort of summary of the ongoing week. Well, viewers, international pressure is increasing upon Ethiopian and Eritrean governments about Tigray conflict. The world is speaking not only about humanitarian disaster in Tigray, but now the world is talking about the presence of Eritrean troops in Tigray as well. So in the coming days, there will be more pressure upon Ethiopian and Eritrean governments. Both the sides are making claims. No one has won this war. Both the parties, the Ethiopian government and Tigray fighters, are controlling certain areas. Ethiopian National Defense Forces have an edge over Tigray fighters, but war is far from over. As regards Ethiopia-Sudan border dispute, tensions are there. Ethiopia does not want to start a full-scale war. At the same time, Ethiopia does not want to accept the status quo about Ethiopia-Sudan border. So tensions are there, but stalemate is there as well. EU is now trying to mediate. Today, a high-level EU delegation arrived in Khartoum. It will arrive in Addis Ababa on Monday. So EU is trying to mediate between Ethiopia and Sudan about border dispute. Let's see what happens. Thank you, all of you who joined this live chat session. Thank you for asking these questions. See you in the next live chat session. Thank you, all of you. See you.